Unlocking new classes in Frostborn is exhilarating, and getting to level 3 makes you incredibly powerful in the game. But as you advance in these classes, you will notice that the requirements get a lot harder to fulfill. So in this video, I am going to teach you everything you need to know about unlocking classes. The time has finally come for the research team to share our first informational sheet with you guys. If you want to follow along with this, there is a link in the pinned comment of this video. So as you advance in the game, you will see that unlocking different classes require different requirements. At first, it's really easy. I mean, the first requirements are reach level 5. But then as you progress, it gets a little bit harder. You see here at level 10 that they require you to do just a first task, do 500 damage with the staff, make 5 bolas. These are, again, really easy. And then it gets a little bit harder. You have to make a bow and do 500 damage. But then at level 20, you start seeing a new requirement where you invest 150 mastery points. Now, I've seen a lot of new players that get to 150 or even 500 mastery points, and they think, oh my goodness, this is so hard. How am I ever going to get to 500 mastery points? And what they don't realize is that as you get into the higher levels of mastery points, especially the level 3 ones, we're talking about 12,000 mastery points just for one class, just to get one advancement in the classes, and to calculate all of them together. If you're wanting any of these last 5 classes, you're gonna need at least 30,000 points in there. So I'm gonna show you how to get all of these. You guys have access to this document. If you look in the pinned comment, the research team has like 20 of these pages full of information, and this is the first one we're getting to share with you guys. So check out that pinned link, look through the requirements, know what you're gonna need to do as you're trying to advance in these classes. So the first type of requirement is the easiest. Dealing 500 damage with the staff is super easy. You literally just make a little staff of support, you go kill as much as you want with that staff of support, and by the time you're done with that one staff of support, you're gonna have unlocked the healer, and then that class is done. So you'll see that 500 damage with the staff, 500 damage with the bow. This is very common. Even 2,000 damage with a sneak attack. If you are doing a green zone and you're using a spear sneak attack, it's gonna add up to 2,000 damage really quickly. So these are really easy requirements, and I don't really have to explain to you how to do them. You just go and do them. Make 5 bolas. These are the easier requirements. After that, the second type of requirement, which gets a little bit harder, are the ones where you have to go get really difficult resources like farm a bunch of copper or make speed potions. So you need to get the materials to be able to make that speed potion, or to be able to even make an alchemist table. Those type of things get a lot harder. And if you are having trouble getting any resources in the game, I have made an entire series covering every resource in the game. There's already over 10 videos in this playlist, and I'm adding more and more, and I will keep adding more and more until there is a video covering every single item in the game, both on this channel but also on the gameplay channel, so you can see how to get every single resource in the game. So if there's anything on here that you are not sure, like if you're needing ghost flowers or if you're needing sealing wax to be able to make speed potions, speed potions don't use ghost flowers, they do use sealing wax though. So if you need that, then I'm gonna have stuff on how to get that as well, which for this one I'll just go ahead and tell you, you need to get sealing wax at Odin's. But if there's anything on here that you're not sure, mining copper or anything that you're struggling with, make sure to check out that playlist, because it will give you the best way to get every single resource in the game. And then actually the first requirement, I kind of glossed over it because it's so kind of obvious in my mind, is just to reach a certain level. Each section represents 5 levels. So even if you can't see the requirements of something, as you look in the game, if it has a new category, it's 5 more levels. And so you can see here on this sheet that, when you get over here, you're looking at level 90, level 85 to unlock some of these classes. You want to get those levels anyways, because they're going to add more hit points for you, and getting levels is so easy. All you have to do is farm resources. If you do raiding or if you do PvP, you're not going to get a lot of levels, but if you're farming resources, if you're doing Odins, those are the best ways to get levels. And then after that, the last requirement and the hardest requirement is getting enough mastery points. In order to get mastery points, you need to go to Newheim and enter the popular district. Then you need to travel to the center and open the Altar of Odin and then choose your class. Now, intuitively, you'll see that offering green weapons or offering blue weapons will offer points. Don't offer your purple weapons. You need those for other things. You can trade those to people that want purples, and they'll give you lots of blues and greens that are worth more points than those purples would be worth. You know, this is a viable option to use this. It's not a lot, it's 9 points, but it's still worth something, and sometimes you'll have a lot of extra green weapons or blue weapons left over, and so go ahead and turn it in if you want to. Marks offer a ton of points. You can see here that each mark is offering 25 points. The purple ones, each mark is worth 50 points at the altar. And so those are all really good options if you have them. But if you are going to craft for points, if you are going to farm for points, then by far the best thing to do is to build strong pickaxes. You can get leather strip farming. I've showed you in that same series on how to get it. I have a video on how to get tons, unlimited leather strips, how to get tons of iron, how to turn that iron into nails. All of that is in that same series. So building strong pickaxes just requires grinding. There's no like looking for it. You just got to get tons of leather strips and tons of iron. So you can see here, I just crafted 7 really quickly. And each one of these pickaxes is worth 30 points at the altar. So this is a lot of points for very little work relatively. Now, obviously, to get enough points to get a maxed out class, like one of the ones at the end where you need at least 36,000 points, we're talking about over 1,000 of these strong pickaxes that you're gonna have to make to be able to get there. But this is the cheapest way, and it can get you a lot of points quickly as long as you were able to farm those leather strips and farm that iron. So that is an overview of the best way to get points. If you want more information on how to get points, I have a gameplay video showing you all of the different ways to get points, but honestly, this is all you need to know to get points. And then after that, just checking out this document. Again, the link is in the pinned comment of this video. You will be able to see everything you need to get it. Now, one of the things that I am hoping that they change is right now the requirements to get to Sharpshooter, or let's say Hunter 3, you have to get Pathfinder 3 and Sharpshooter 3 and then Hunter 3. So if you want to be a Hunter 3, you need to have probably about 40,000 mastery points. And I've been petitioning to the devs. You know, the devs have made a lot of changes that us players have been asking for. This is one that they have not been making. I'm hoping that I will eventually wear them down and they'll eventually cave to the pressure because it would make the game so much better if they just split it up to where instead of requiring all of that, you just needed, you know, these 300 points right here for Hunter 1, and then you move over here and you get these 2,600 points instead of needing all of this extra 4,000 points, and then you go straight to getting the, you know, 12,000 points here, not needing this 20,000. It would just make the game so much better. I've been asking the devs to do it. If you are watching this video and they've already made that change, then just know that the devs of Frostborn, they make changes that the players are asking for, and so I really believe that they will make this change one day, but so far they have not. It is really sad because it has really discouraged people, especially from getting the Hunter, Assassin, Shaman, Illusionist, and Thrasher, and even the level, these second ones, the Sharpshooter, is really discouraging if people want to go for those because they have to farm like, you know, 40,000 points to get to them. And even the people that are going for the, you know, the first tier, you know, Berserk 3, it's really discouraging to have to put 3,000 points into Thrasher 2 if you don't really care about Thrasher. So hopefully the devs will make this change. I built this chart so that it still stays timeless even if they do make that change. I didn't put that as a requirement on here. You guys will be able to just see that because, you know, you'll click on Berserk and instead of saying first learn class Thrasher, it will say first learn, you know, Berserk 1, or in this case, it'll just automatically be unlocked because I already have Berserk 1. And so if you see that happening in the game, then that means they made the change, and just praise the devs because they have been making a lot of the changes that the players have been asking for. Now, there is one other thing that's important to mention, and that is once you get to district level 178, you will be able to get an Altar of Odin, which then when you give points to that altar, you get double the amount of points for your your class, which is amazing, and I would tell you to focus on it, but there is a catch. So you can see here that the requirements to get just to level 178 is, 7,000 wood, almost the same of stone, almost 3,000 planks, 800 iron, and then of course it gets crazier. You get 1,000 bone fasteners, 500 metal parts, 500 thick fabric. We're, 237 maple planks. We've got 400 alchemical powder. These are rare things. A lot of this stuff is rare. Now, varnish and sealing wax are rare, but you're gonna get a ton of them by then. Runes of power. These are not that big of a deal. The maple planks, the 300 copper bars, these are extremely grindy. It is very difficult to do. So on a theoretical level, it is more efficient to first go for your district levels. It's also more fun to go for your district levels because each time's different. You're gonna work at it. It makes the grind just a little bit more entertaining. Each district level's a little bit different. You're getting all these other benefits as you do it than just going and grinding for pickaxes over and over again. But you have to keep in mind these crazy requirements. And even if you are crazy good at this game and you're grinding and you're trading with people so that you get a ton of these materials that you need for the materials that you can get, like let's say at Odin's, you're still going to have to spend some money because when you go over to the silver, you're gonna need 27,000 silver. And when you do the math, it is impossible for a free-to-play player to get that much silver in less than a year. It was really unfortunate that the devs set it up this way. It's very pay to win. So if you're a free-to-play player and you're gonna stay a free-to-play player, then you're gonna be better off just grinding twice as many pickaxes. I know it's a grind. Hopefully Kafir will eventually reduce that grind. It's pretty ridiculous and it's not very favorable. I mean, personally, I'm not as offended or bothered by some of these other things that are less limited. You just go grind more of the game, but the silver is limited to free-to-play players. It's a very pay-to-win move by Kafir, and you don't really see that until you start getting into the higher district levels. If you want to know more about district levels, we are planning on making this video soon, but we're not quite finished. Like I said, we're missing about 20 levels, so these requirements are going to be even a little bit higher. We're missing from like level 80 to level 100. If any of you guys are around the level 80 to 100 and you want to send some screenshots to the research team so that we can finish this document, as soon as we finish this one, we'll go ahead and make that video, and then you guys will have 2 of these pages sent to you guys so that you can share and have all of that information on hand as you desire it. Well, that's it guys. Hope that helps. I'll see you next time.